After what, almost 16 months of making Sanford a home base?
We are packed up and moving home bases to the van.
Yes, we'll actually be really identified as nomadic again.
Yeah, so we've done plenty of awesome little van excursions and even boat excursions, but all up in the past 16 months, they've all been U-turns. Yeah, we've always came back to Sanford. Right now,
we'll come back to Sanford.
Yeah, well, we have to. We're leaving the boat here, but right now we're heading out on a van trip of potentially multiple months without any idea of exactly where we're going or when we'll be back.
So let's get you caught up. A little bit of a life update.
I'm staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up. Come my way and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun. Straight calamity abounds and it's making me frown, 'cause humanity can't see what it's already found. That love is all
Cats to convert to being an RV cat, which means you need your harness on.
And you'll get lots of outside time with a leash.
Yes. You are ready to go camping.
Camping time.
So it has been a while since we've done kind of a life update.
So yeah, we're out camping, and it's not just camping because we're on the road again. And
kind of. I mean, we're always on the road, but not. But quick recap. We have been kind of boat-based, home-based in Sanford, Florida since March of 2020. It's been a fabulous place to ride out the pandemic.
Yeah, but it's been, 16 months, which is by far the longest stop is our home basing in our entire 15-plus years on the road. So it's been a very different change of pace, and we're kind of excited to be changing things up. So we're going to answer a lot of the questions we've been getting and just give an update on what our future, current, just started today adventure is.
Yes, I do have to say though, the last year has been.
We picked the right spot.
We picked the right spot. I mean, obviously it's been a crazy year for everybody, but we feel extraordinarily blessed that we had the option to come back to a place we love so much in Sanford. The boat has been an amazing place to be, a condo downtown.
Yeah, so we've got this amazing town to put out right out our front door, and then between the van and the boat, we did a lot of just shorter trips, taking advantage once the Florida State Parks opened up. We did a lot of van camping around, and we did a lot of boat trips out on the river. We just did a big one to Jacksonville and back. And yeah, that was just, didn't feel like it was right to do the bigger traveling. So maybe we jump right into that question right away. We get asked, are you still doing the Great Loop?
So that is why we bought our boat over 4 years ago, is to pursue the American Great Loop, which is basically a circumnavigation of the eastern part of the U.S., going up the Intracoastal into the Erie Canal, down through the Great Lakes river system, back out into the Gulf of Mexico, and repeat. A lot of loopers do it in a year. We always set out to do it slower. We're doing it even slower. We call ourselves sloopers.
Slow loopers, yes.
So we bought our boat in Punta Gorda, Florida in 2017, and we made it as far north as Charleston before we turned around for family health issues and the pandemic and returned to Sanford.
Yes. So in general, people are like, well, are you going to get back on the loop this year? It's like, well, this is not a good year to do the loop. There's still a lot of places that are closed, and particularly Canada hasn't reopened the border yet. And the highlight of the loop for so many people is all the Canadian canals. And we want to actually spend several seasons exploring up there. So we're in no rush to get up there. We're in no rush to get back on the loop this year. And that kind of cruising is something now we're kind of slated maybe next year.
Or maybe. So one thing that we found is, we set out to do the Great Loop, what we found is we love cruising in general and living aboard and just exploring amazing cities and being able to live downtown for extended amounts of time for very affordably, because monthly rates at marinas are just...
That's the best way to do it.
It's so much better than nightly rates. Yeah. And we're just loving it. So we've kind of dropped the identification as being loopers, maybe?
Yeah, sort
maybe
of.
We will do it, maybe we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly still very much want to get up and cruise in Canada, but who knows how long it'll take us to get there. But this coming season, when we get back to the boat in the winter, and we'll tell you about where we're heading now, we might go to the Bahamas and do that first before then continuing up north and up the east coast of the U.S.
So yeah, looping still on the agenda, but it might be a
Slow
decade.
loopers.
It might be a decade before we complete it. So if you're waiting for like our video series to complete of the looping,
It's a slow series.
yeah, it's
Extended.
not. We're just doing us, and we're still intending to split between the boat and various RVs. So next question we get a lot is, do we still have the bus? We haven't seen the bus.
I miss our bus.
I miss our bus. Yes, we still have the bus. We left it in storage at our co-op lot in Arizona just before the pandemic hit. We had taken the van across country to get back to the boat.
Yep. And the plan was that we were going to be back. If there hadn't been a pandemic, we would have been, back to the bus.
A lot sooner.
A lot sooner. Last season, splitting our year.
Yeah, traveling across country in the peak of the pandemic was not in the cards. So yes, the bus is still in storage. We have had friends who have checked on it periodically, but so that is part of what this trip might include for us, is returning back to the bus at the end of this trip. It's obviously Arizona, July, not the time to go.
Yeah, so we're not in a rush to get to the bus just because it's 115 degrees well, actually, I think it's only gotten up to 106 where our bus is. But still, no, don't want to go there just quite yet.
Yes.
But once it cools off, Arizona might be on our trip. So what is this trip? What are we up to?
Yeah, so we did a 3-week cruise up and down the St. Johns River with the boat back in late May, June, just before it got way too hot to do it. It was amazing. We did 2 videos on that. Go check that out if you want to have some cruising video. It was great. It was really good just to get back into cruising for a while. But we've also been craving some longer extended trips. And we've been we got the new van back in November, Blooper. And been getting out to a lot of the Florida state parks.
And we even made it all the way up to South Carolina once. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've been doing some trips, but we have been doing there and back trips. The longest was...
I think we did a 10-day, 10 or 11 day was the longest we did. And we haven't been videoing those, actually. We had maybe little clips here and there. We did actually get to every state park in Central Florida that has a campground. I think it's like 27 of them or something. That was a great thing to do. We did little clips. We might one day put together a video. We might not. Video production has become...
Well, we do so much video for the Mobile Internet Resource Center channel that the Technomads videos are like, do you really want to do a video?
We just want to enjoy, because we're doing testing and videos for the Resource Center at all these locations. It's just, and how interesting is it to share? I don't know. Travelogue videos haven't really been...
because we haven't been in a big travel thing. So we'll see what comes of this trip. So now, what this trip is, we're setting out in the van. We basically moved into the van. All of instead of just packing for a weekend or a week, we moved into the van so we can do an extended trip, potentially months long. We don't have a return date to when we'll go back to the boat, and our bugs. Yeah, and are heading out. This is our very first night on this trip. We're at Anastasia State Park, working our way north out of Florida, and that's basically what we know. We're heading north.
Yeah, we kind of have triangulated. We're going to go north of Florida and south of Canada.
And if Canada opens up,
then maybe we'll go north of Canada too. So yeah, if Canada does open up, we're kind of thinking we're going to stick on the East Coast to begin. Maybe do the Blue Ridge Parkway, get up into the mountains for a little bit, get some cooler air. Get up to see friends who are currently wandering around in New England.
Also got some excuses to potentially go to Michigan, then circle back. We've got family in Illinois that we might circle to, and St. Louis, and then maybe that might be starting to get to the point where it cools off that we might head to Arizona, or maybe we'll head back to the boat in where we've got it stored in Florida.
And of course, hurricane season is a big contender of that. It is predicted that the hurricane season could ramp up quite a bit later this fall. The boat is stored as securely as it can be for being in Florida.
And we've got a lot of people watching it.
Yes, so we feel really good about that, but we want to intentionally stay a day or two's drive away just in case we need to get back in a hurry to secure anything, fix anything, take care of anything. So until the peak of hurricane season is over, which is October-ish, we probably aren't going to feel good about going all the way out to Arizona yet. But so our travels will be based upon watching the tropics and enjoying, and just we just haven't set out with too many reservations at all. We're gonna just wing it. We know that camping has changed a lot since the last time we're actively on the road with a lot more people. We're gonna wing it. Last minute cancellations, one night stays, harvest hosts,
and just steering by serendipity, and like finding cool people, cool places, cool events, and just kind of plotting a piece at a time.
Yeah. Speaking of events, We've been asked a lot
Wow.
if we're going to be attending a lot of the events. So a lot of RV events are back. And we are not planning to attend or speak at any events. For one, even before the pandemic, we weren't really big event people. If you have been watching our channel long enough, you know that we're pretty extreme introverts and homebodied. And those big events are way outside our comfort zone.
We like the medium, small size events, places where we can actually really get to know people and stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting invited to come to our big event, do a presentation about Bayliner. It's like we're like no, even pre-pandemic we would have said no to that, and we're still continuing to say no to that.
Right.
But we are, we're enjoying and looking forward to like smaller rendezvous with our peeps and stuff.
And maybe if we're coming your way, keep an eye on us on social. Invite us over. Driveway surf. We have a small van. It can fit in driveways now. So yeah, we are open to meeting up with in small groups. We are vaccinated, so that gives us a level of safety. But we are not feeling comfortable with large group events yet, and we're going to just continue to watch things. A lot of stuff has to come together for large events to feel safe again for us, both health-wise and mentally wise, because they are taxing on us. And we usually come away from those needing weeks and weeks of recuperation. So just not what we want to spend our time doing right now.
But it is, and God, we are very legitimately excited to be back onto a different kind of travel. It's kind of like open-ended new experience explorations. We've been excitedly packing for the last week, getting things organized, and fun stuff ahead.
Right. Other question we've been getting a lot of is how is Kiki? If you did watch the cruising videos that we recently did, we did mention that Kiki had a health issue that came up.
That's why it was only a 3-week trip down the river and back, as Kiki had some significant medical things to take care of. And
fairly significant. So she was diagnosed with, we just took her in for a routine physical exam, like everyone right now, as the pandemic kind of took a little bit of a lull in May
catching
and June.
Catching up on appointments.
So we're all catching up on appointments. And she tested for hyperthyroidism, which means that her
thyroid is starting to get out of whack.
And we're very blessed that we have had friends who have dealt with this before. A big kudos to Nina and Paul of Wheeling It. So we were able to go back to their blog posts, got on a call with her, got some resources on that, and we pretty immediately decided that we wanted to pursue the radioactive I-31 treatment, which is basically uptake of the thyroid, and it's pretty much considered a cure.
Right.
It's just costly. I think we spent $1,600 on it, which cats are priceless for us.
Yes, exactly. And so it is, you've got to go through this process. If she gets irradiated, you've got to then, the hardest part is you can't cuddle her for too much for 2 weeks. But she goes through that, and she just had her first follow-up test, and her numbers are back to normal. She is cured. And so that means we have a long life of Kiki ahead of us, hopefully.
So.
Yeah.
So her liver panels were a little bit out of whack due to the high thyroid. Those have come back down to normal. Her kidney levels, which can be masked by the high thyroid levels, are still showing normal, so we're feeling hopeful with that. Kiki's going on 13 years old, and it's pretty normal age for them to be diagnosed with this. So hopefully we've given her the best possible chance in future. So.
Yep. So she's now got the clean bill of health. That's partly why we went back to Sanford after the boat trip. Waited for her follow-up appointments, and now we're out on the van trip. And she's excited. She loves camping.
Yeah, it's her favorite thing. She loves it. She loves being out in the RV so much more than the boat.
Because there's things to pounce on.
And stalk and watch. Whereas the boat can get kind of boring for a cat.
Other than YouTube. She loves her 4K YouTube animal video streaming. But yes, she loves the real thing in 8K Catovision with smells out in nature even better.
Okay, so as far as future videos, we have been seeing more and more comments lately on Facebook and Instagram that people are surprised to find that we have videos out there that we've been doing recently.
Yes.
We have been putting videos out about monthly, maybe twice a month throughout the whole last year.
But YouTube does not like that. So YouTube, because we don't put out a lot of videos, they kind of drop us off. They don't notify people of new videos coming out. They're blah, blah, blah. So we hear from people like, we actually run across people in person. They're like, hey, you haven't put out a video in a year, have you? And we're like, no, we put out a lot. But so YouTube doesn't like the way we put things out. We're not going to change. We're not going to try and cater to YouTube's algorithm. But we can, if you do want to follow us.
So there's it's apparently not good enough anymore just to subscribe to a channel. If you want to be notified, you have to click some bell down there.
Yes.
So you get notified with it. But do check the channel. We are putting out consistent content, just not weekly like we used to.
Yes.
We are putting out weekly and more content over at the Mobile Internet Resource Center. So if you are missing our faces and like mobile internet content,
Yes.
go subscribe to that channel. Sometimes we're putting out 5 or 6 videos a week over there.
Yes.
So
And-
doesn't leave a lot of energy for this channel.
And another reason that YouTube doesn't like us is we jumped through all the hoops to opt out of those stupid, annoying mid-roll ads that interrupt videos, and we had to opt out of that. But I think YouTube then deprioritizes us even further because they don't want to show videos because they're making less money off of them, I guess. So
Whatever.
yeah, whatever. So if you want to follow us, jump through the hoops on your end, and we appreciate it. And if not, well, I mean, we're just doing this for fun. We're not trying to cater to YouTube's algorithms.
We're not trying to be YouTube influencers. Or it has been incredible watching the number of our viewers that have been able to turn sharing their stuff on YouTube into a career. And amazing. It is a full-time job. So big kudos to those that put the energy into it. That is not us. We have a full-time job running the Mobile Internet Resource Center. We
More than
don't
full-time.
we don't have the time to put into making this channel a quote-unquote success. Our success is that you guys are still here. Those of you who are watching it.
Some people have been watching us for decades.
Yes.
I don't know. It's crazy, but
The people that we meet on the road, the people that we hear from that our content over. We've been on YouTube since 2009. I think I've seen us reference as OGs of YouTube.
And just now, like walking this campground, somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, you're one of my inspirations for being here." It's like
That's why
what
we
like.
keep doing this, and we don't care if we're reaching 10 of you or 10,000 of you. I'd actually prefer it more like 100. Where the introvert comes out sometimes. So we will continue to post video here now that we're on the road in the van. We're going to keep it casual because editing in the van is not as much fun as on the boat. So it'll be casual, kind of like us talking on camera. If this isn't your style, well, hey.
Go find other channels that do more fancy
Your
stuff.
style. This is us.
Yeah. But if you like our style, we welcome you here and drop us a note. Say what you like, say you appreciate it, and say, hey, you're coming in my area and would love to actually meet in person. That's always cool.
Yes. If there are questions or topics you would like us to cover in a future video, please leave that in a comment as well. We'll try to see if we can't shoot something casual about it. We are going to be doing some videos on our updated mobile internet system for the van.
Yeah.
We'll
Some
be
nice upgrades there.
doing some stuff on some of the mods that we've done on the van. There'll be some content that comes out of it. I don't know how much travelogue is. I don't personally find RV travelogues that interesting, so I'm uninspired to create them.
But we'll see what comes up organically as we travel.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our quick update. Not so quick and rambling. We're
Okay.
enjoying a nice Chenin Blanc that we got on our Naked Wine subscription. This one is excellent by Miriam.
Just finished a bike ride around the park and out to the beach, and it's a beautiful day. It's not too hot, and we're on the road.
We are back on the road. I think we're going to go
Yay.
make some dinner, and we'll catch you later.
Take care.
We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.